Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 19 of the Curiosity Cache. Due to the wonders that are technology, we have a couple of our folks that have no camera today, but that is okay. Hopefully, everyone's internet holds out for the show. If not, we will make it work anyway. So, last week, Free, Braca, and Decim headed down into the catacombs under the city of Shelzar, leaving Doran in the shop at Pracha's behest. So Doran, after the others leave, Pracha kind of pulls you off to the side, and Mariah, who's the halfling child that they adopted, is what you have gathered so far. She's kind of walking around dusting and stuff. But every so often, you notice that she like eyes you and Pracha, like she's obviously paying attention to what Pracha's going to say to you. And then the other worker in the shop is Sajida. Sajida actually brushes by everybody and walks into the back and mutters to Pracha that she's going to work on the paperwork. And so Pracha gestures you over and is like, "Okay, so how are they doing? Like you've been adventuring before, and they're just kind of new to this. What do you think? Are they doing all right?"
Adventure do what with?
She thinks for a moment. Right. She obviously didn't catch.
I just nod.
Yeah.
I nod with them.
Do you feel like they're being safe?
Safe, not always. Sometimes, maybe.
Do you have any suggestions on how we can do this better?
Orange.
So the conversation goes on for a little bit of her essentially trying. You get the feeling from her that she thinks you have been adventuring a lot more than maybe you have been, and is trying to like figure out how to guide the group in a way that will keep them from getting murdered while going out and trying to find these relics. By the end of the conversation, you're not sure if she has the answer she wants, but she nods and says, "Okay, well, if you want to join them," and she tells you where they headed off to. If you just head up to the old gate, there's an entrance to the sewer that leads down into those old catacombs.
So she's basically going, "Go find them."
Yeah. And she definitely like comes off as though you know more than potentially you might. I'm leaving that up to you as far as what you actually know. How long you've been here in Shelzar, and so like what you know as far as the getting around. So if you feel like you need to ask questions on getting around, you just let me know.
Yeah, I was definitely going to, as they're like taking me over to where they're like, "All right, just go meet up with them."
Yeah.
And do your thing. I'm definitely gonna be like, "You come?"
No, I've got to watch the shop. That's why I can't go with them, but that's why I hired you, so you can help out and keep an eye on them. I have complete.
Shop, you go.
She looks around, and there's actually that moment of like, you can tell she's thinking about it. Like she even like kind of like grips the sword that she carries. And then she sighs and goes, "No, I need my responsibility for now is here until we figure out where Belky went and how to deal with that."
Man, I was really thinking of I could cast like friends or something on myself for a second, but I don't have it. I'm like really persuaded. Okay, well, I guess I'm just aimlessly wandering in the direction.
Sure. Go ahead and do a. Let's see. You could do either intelligence, or if you're skilled in survival, we could call it survival as far as finding your way around.
Yeah, so that's a hot 0 on survival, and my intelligence is a -1.
Yeah.
So survival is actually
survival.
Better.
It is, yeah.
That's a 4.
4.
That's
Okay.
not par for the course.
All right. So you end up wandering around for a while, and while you're walking through the souk, it dawns on you that you could ask somebody, like, hey, where's the old gate? And it takes you a little bit because of your language barrier. But you manage to get somebody's like, no, you're in the complete wrong end of town. Head that way. See that really tall wall over there? Head towards that. And so it takes you a bit. You're a bit behind them as far as what's going on, but you end up finding the sewer and you head down into it. And you can actually see signs that they've left, chalk marks that.
Well, I would definitely remember that.
Exactly. Right.
I was going to participate in that originally. I just didn't get the chance to.
So, like, once you get into the sewer, like, it's much easier to find where they went than it was to find the entrance. And pretty quickly you find what looks like a crumbled down wall that leads into some catacombs, that were, from what you were told earlier, this was a couple weeks ago game wise, this was once a city that the new city has been built upon. So as you head in, you can tell that there are ruins of buildings that are essentially like, there's like rock pushing down on them, and so some of them have exploded out and just like a rubble. Some of them look pretty normal, but you end up where you are on the map. Go ahead and make me a perception check.
Not perfect. Perception is wisdom, right?
Correct.
Okay. I'm very perceptive today.
That's not bad, yeah. All right, so as you're kind of crawling through this rubble and following the chalk marks, you do hear talking up ahead, and you hear a shout all of a sudden, but while that shout happens, there's a glow that goes across your vision as this little, like, flying, it looks almost like a dragonfly or something, but it's glowing slightly, kind of like buzzes out into your line of vision, and it's heading this way. All of a sudden a rock, and you have you don't have dark vision, correct?
I do not.
Okay, and
just
so
my self-illumination.
So are you using your self-illumination, or are you, because that's like only like 5 feet from you, or are you using like a torch or a lantern, or?
If it's pitch black in there, I would probably be using a torch.
Okay, so the torchlight actually reflects a bit off of the flying insect as well, almost like it was metallic or something, and you see this rock fly out and ding it, and it like falls to the ground and is making like these weird buzzing noises, like as its wings beat against the ground. And this person that's just wearing like rags and this like dumpy old hat comes like walking out and kind of like, not viciously, but like gently nudges, like kicks the bug to see if it's going to do anything. And then it, like, the person does this little like dance, and he's like, yes, finally I caught it. What do you do?
Well, I'm assuming he sees me just because I'm hard to miss.
Yeah.
And
he's not looking at you. He seems pretty intent on the bug.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll walk up with a childlike curiosity about the bug as well.
Okay.
Like, hey, that was what I was going to follow it, because I assume I've never seen anything like this before, and that's the whole reason I left the spires in the first place, was to adventure around.
Totally. So. Yeah, so as you get there, not only do you see this guy and this strange, as you get closer, it's obviously like a metallic bug. It looks like it has like little tiny gears inside of it, and one of its wings is either broken or bent or something, and it's like fluttering away, and you can hear it, the buzzing of it, kind of like reverberating off of the ground. But you see off to the left here, there's a glow from a torch, and you notice, yeah, your line of sight's good enough to see that Decim and a dwarven woman that you saw the group leave with, and Pracha introduced her as Borla. You see Decim and Borla silhouetted by this torchlight. And then the person holding the torch or lantern, which is it for you? Do you have a torch or a lantern?
Lantern.
Lantern. So the person holding the lantern is kind of dancing around and shouting for some reason.
I don't really. That's not something that they normally do.
No, no.
Well, does this guy even give a shit that I'm like looking at the bug with him?
Uh,
Really?
as,
Like,
as you get closer and like the light illuminates the area better, you get a better look at him, and he seems very intent on the bug until essentially your boots scuff as you get closer, and then he looks up at you and he grabs the bug off the ground. He's like, "It's mine."
I just nod.
He's going to try to head off this direction, off to like back out towards the sewers. And he's kind of eyeing you and saying, he's more like against this wall, and he's carrying the bug with him. Do you do anything?
Now, as he's closer, what's his clothing like? Is it like super like ripped up and
Yeah.
like he lives down here type of thing?
That
and,
would be a good assumption, yep.
and I've never seen this type of bug before, right?
You've probably seen dragonflies in the Gleaming Valley where you're from, but not metallic ones, not like clockwork now. Like actual real dragonflies you've seen.
Okay. I'm just gonna look at him kind of like disarmingly, like just kind of like I'm more curious about anything than what he's doing. I'll be like, what do I say? I guess bug metal, and I'll just point at the bug.
Mine! And he just kind of scampers off.
I'll just shrug because it's not why I'm supposed to be here in the first place.
Yeah.
Learning from what I've learned from the party, I see them, right? Like I'm almost
you do.
like,
Yeah.
and he ran from the south, so I'm just gonna like put a mark on the wall
Okay.
with like this is where he was at, and then that's it. Like, hey, there was something here.
Perfect.
Just so that way I remember, because I might not remember when I get back.
Totally.
So yeah, and then I'll work my way nonchalantly. I'm in no rush over to them, because as far as I can tell, it looks like they're dancing. So
Okay. With that, let's all roll initiative.
the dance is not a good one.
I mean, I'm sure it'll be fine. Raka, do you want me to roll for you?
I've got a 12.
A 12. Is that including your bonus?
Yes. Yep.
12 it is.
Yep. I'm at the point in life where I just look for excuses to roll physical dice as much as possible now.
I like it. That's a good excuse. I like it. Okay.
Also, I will warn you that I did drop off Discord once already. You may have heard the going off and on.
Gotcha.
So, yep.
All right. Meanwhile, while this has been going on, Freed went and tried to break off the little like appendage of that was sticking out of that cylinder. Do you remember that?
It was bothering me.
Yeah. And so when you went to break it off, those that cylinder then like broke into or separated into 5 pieces, and each piece sprouted like little legs and began crawling all over you. One of those pieces a small looks like a needle ejects from it and stabs into your skin. I'm assuming a 19 hits you.
Yeah, 19 will hit me.
So you're gonna take 1 point of damage,
Mm-hmm.
and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Where are you?
So you feel like this weird burning sensation, and like where it stabbed you in your arm, like your muscle kind of tightens, but nothing else happens. And then, doop. Another one. Oh. Another one. The needle comes out and jams into like your leg as it's climbing down your pants.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to take 2 points of damage and do a con save.
That one is not as good.
It is still enough. Your leg seizes a bit as the muscle kind of spasms from whatever it ejected into you, but you are still okay. And it is your turn.
So I went from the happiest I've been in like a day to the saddest I've been in like a day. So I just want to make myself super cold. So
Okay.
I'm going to cast Armor of Agathis.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
And remind me what that does.
I get 5 temporary hit points, and any creature that hits me with melee takes 5 cold damage
Excellent.
until the temp hit points are gone.
Okay. All right. So then this next little guy or little machination climbs off of you and climbs up onto Decim
Ah,
and is going to try to hit him with that needle. Does a 16 hit Decim?
oh, most definitely, yes.
So that is 1 piercing. And make
Okay.
a Constitution save as the needle pierces into your pant leg and you feel it's like burning sensation in your leg.
Is this a poison?
It is a poison.
I have advantage.
Excellent. Nice. Yeah, you feel it. It kind of tickles, but doesn't really do anything at all.
Yeah, I mean,
And-
Snakes and stuff. It's
Right.
fine.
this one is also still on Decim. Another crit.
Ow.
So this one does 2 points of damage to you, Decim. Sorry, not Decim. Freed.
Oh, me.
Yeah.
Okay, it takes 5 cold.
Perfect. Go ahead and make me another con save as well.
You can do this free.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, so it's almost like your body's already just adjusting to being stabbed with this stuff over and over. But you do notice that like ice runs up the needle as it pierces into you and just like freezes the entirety of the thing's body, and it actually loses its grip on your pants and falls off. Click. Okay, that brings us to Braca.
All right, so it looks like Freed's in a little trouble, and
Yeah.
since I have not been able to log in yet, can I get to him within 30 feet?
Absolutely. Yeah, you're actually currently 10 feet away
Yeah.
from him. You just need to step
Thought
up.
so. Yeah, so I'm gonna pull out my quarterstaff that used to be a broom and try and sweep one of these things off of him.
Absolutely. Wait, did you remove the broom end before you came down here, or is it still a broom?
No,
Okay.
it's removed.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your d20 for me.
That's a 18 on the die.
Perfect. Are you using that one-handed or two?
Oh, 2.
So it's a d8, I believe.
Yes, so that's gonna be 7 points of damage.
Okay. So he whacks this one that's on the map between Freed and Braca and just smashes it to pieces. Anything else, Braca?
I think there was another one that was going around pant legs, so I'm gonna try and give it a swift little horse kick.
Sure.
And Braca just kind of nonchalantly walks over to one that's kind of on the ground and stomp. That's a crit.
Nice. Nice.
Got a nice little heart on my die.
Roll your damage.
Well, let's see. That's a 1 plus a 1 plus 3, so 5 points of damage.
Okay. Did you roll twice?
Yes, that's a pair. Yes, a pair of ones on the damage
Oh,
die.
jeez. Still, it is enough. So you smash that one. Anything else?
I really have to practice using my feet more instead of my arms. It's just
Absolutely.
be a lot more effective. Braca just says that and keeps walking on to the next one.
So we'll move you up here. Borla moves over and is like looking around on Decim, trying to like keep track of this thing, and she pulls out this dagger and is like, you can tell she's trying to time to stab it without stabbing you.
Oh.
And she criticals on it. Excellent. Okay, so she smashes, or she stabs at that one and just skewers through the metal. And she picks it up and its little legs are like moving until they just slow down and stop. And this one is gone. Doran.
It's me. Does it look like they're still dancing from my point of view?
Freed has stopped moving around quite so like jerkily, like he was trying to figure out what the hell was crawling all over him. But there is definitely some kind of action going on over there.
I guess what I'm trying to ask is, does it look threatening to them, or are they just annoyed?
I would say they are acting combative with whatever it is.
Okay, well, I will read that then, and I will use, my sprint to try and get closer, just to get a better look. So I guess I move, what is it, 60 or whatever the hell it is?
Yep. Yeah, so you should move 12 squares if you're dashing.
Yeah, right there. And from that vantage point, is anybody hurt? Visibly or noticeably hurt?
I would say you can't really tell from there. And actually, you're also down. It drops down into this like.
It's like a full, like almost story, so I can't see over it type of thing.
You can kind of see Borla and Decim. You can see the light glaring off, but you don't see anyone that's hurt or anything like that now.
Well, I guess I'm just hanging out then.
Okay. That guy has been smashed. Let's just remove him from there. Decim, what are you doing?
Can I see that mechanical creature?
You are, and you could technically, it's on Freed, so you don't need to move.
So if I were to target it with a spell-like effect, it would potentially hit Freed.
Please don't melt me.
I mean, It's possible.
So tempted. But instead, I'm going to attempt to grab it using Mage Hand.
Okay. Go ahead and do a spellcaster ability, as though you were like doing a ranged spell attack or a spell attack. It's like your hand shows up, and it's like grabbing at the areas, and Freed, it's like grabbing your clothes, but the thing skitters around. It doesn't quite make it. Like the hand doesn't quite grab it.
Oh, I think that just sends over the bonus. I just tried that again. Same number. I'll do that. I will move away, however, 10, 15, 20, 25. Because that's just common sense. My turn.
Do a roll a d20 on there for me.
D20.
Okay, yeah, so with your +5, that actually grabs the thing.
Just want to move it off of Freed.
Sure. So you pull it. Where would you like to move it to?
Right here.
Bloop. So Freed, you feel like the clothing kind of gets pulled with it, and then it loses its grip and sails over there, and it's just kind of like hovering with the hand around it, and its legs are moving around. This one is gone. You see that little like needle just like going in and out of the compartment, but it can't do anything. What do you do, Freed?
What is this thing?
So you kind of eye it closely now that it's not crawling all over you trying to stab you. It looks like a little clockwork compartment, essentially, that houses its parts that then can come out into legs and that stabbing needle. But other than that, it doesn't really resemble anything. Like, it doesn't look like an insect or anything like that. The legs are kind of insect-like, but
it doesn't look like there's any kind of like sentience in there. It's just doing what it's programmed to do. Okay,
Probably.
yeah, I'm gonna stab it then. Let's booming blade it.
Okay.
Oh, and attack.
Oh yeah. Okay, so it just explodes.
And then I'll just sit quietly thinking of the cold toy I had.
All right, we'll go off of initiative. Doran, what are you doing?
Working my way up next to... I forget the name.
Decim, probably?
Yes. I couldn't remember how to pronounce it. So I'm going to work my way up next to them and give them like a look over, see if they're okay.
Okay. So Decim, you see Doran come walking up. He's holding a torch and seems worried about you. Meanwhile, I feel like everyone can see Doran. Raka, you're a little bit inside of a room, but because you moved out, you're far enough out to see him. What does everybody want to do?
Oh, Decim's super pleased to see Doran.
His protege.
Yeah, his protege. And he will also inspect Doran to make sure that Doran is in good health and is able to find us here okay.
Well, seeing that you're... now I'm assuming that you're mimicking me, so I'm just going to, like, do what, like, little dogs do when they first run into a mirror. and like try and do different poses to see if you do them as well. Not
Yeah,
it's-
Desmond super confused.
So when you don't do them, then I just kind of look over at everybody else.
And
Yeah.
Brock, and Braca steps in there to try and fill the awkward silence and explain that there was something. Jeremy, correct me if I'm forgetting something here, but there was something mechanical that was kept vibrating in one of the vents in the north part of this room that I'm coming out of. So, yeah, Braca went and grabbed it because, well, it was making a lot of noise and it was very cold. So I figured, hey, Freed likes cold things. Might protect Freed against some of the heat that we may be expecting later. So I gave it to Freed, and, well, Freed, now you can explain what you did.
I tried to use it, and clearly it was some kind of mistake in its like programming. Because why would you have a thing that you want to hold to you to stay cold if it's just going to scratch at you?
That's fair.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So-
that's fair.
I fixed the design.
And I think the only thing that was Braca got it almost all right, except for it was just up at a shelf. It was like on a very tall shelf that you like had done one of your like jump kicks to reach up and grab it. It wasn't an event, but other than that, yeah, everything is sounds right. So Borla's kind of just standing around and she's eyeing everybody. She seems pleased for some reason.
She's a sadist who's happy that I don't have my toe anymore. I'm watching you, Borla.
Right?
Can I do an insight check? Did she seem to be paying attention to our ability to fight and possibly destroy some things?
Yeah, go ahead and roll that.
In particular, Braca's wondering if she's looking at him in particular, and that's a 14 on insight.
Okay. Is that with your bonus that you have?
Yes, because I am proficient in insight.
Excellent. You definitely get the feeling that she is, I don't want to say judging. Judging might be a little too harsh of a word. Appraising. She's appraising how well you fought, and you feel like she thought you did really well.
Yeah, she's doing the, okay, it's not a death sentence being with these idiots.
Yet. Okay, so what does everyone want to do? Do you need me to refresh? It has been a couple weeks, so do you need me to refresh info on where you are?
Not really. We're looking for the scimitar.
Yep.
We're down here in the thing. We're not looking for a place that has lava, although it might have lava. So we're just exploring some of these like caverns. And
Yeah.
I know like up north we haven't explored yet.
Yep. And you haven't gone into this southern,
room
the southwest room
just yet.
because you had seen the shiny reflection up in this other room, and shiny things obviously get your attention. And also, Doran, I turned on your aura just so you know that's how far your torch goes out, and the aura on Freed. Yeah, the aura on Freed is his torch.
Assuming that's what that was. So that's good that my assumption is true. But yeah, I guess I'm just kind of following Decim. That seems to have been working out for me so far.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm really interested in.
Okay. Freed and Braca.
I'm gonna go down south,
Okay.
see if there's a scimitar in there.
Okay. Braca.
Braca will follow.
Okay. And Decim.
Decim is gonna pick up one of those little critters
Okay.
and kind of fiddle with it a little bit to see what exactly this thing is. Is it like a creature? Is it a not creature?
Yeah, totally. So you pick up the closest one to you, which I think is the one that Borla stabbed her dagger through and then like pulled it off and just threw it on the ground. It's mostly in one piece. It just has like a large cleave through it. There's a little bit of greenish goop that's like oozing out of where she stabbed through it, but it's like a very minuscule amount, almost as though whatever it had inside of it had already been. This is like the leftover residue. It looks like it is like a clockwork or a mechanical device as opposed to a creature.
Not like an actual living thing.
I guess it depends on how you, as Freed, define life. It was moving around, but you don't feel like it was intelligent. No.
I'm gonna just stick one of those in my bag
Sure.
for later.
And Braca follows Freed down. Braca and Freed, just make me investigation checks.
$13 on the die, so that's a 12.
Okay, fair enough. And Freed got a 9. Okay. You're looking around. This room is really mostly empty. There are more piles of like blankets and cloth. You get the feeling that people had been sleeping here, but these seem more undisturbed recently. Like there's a little bit of grime on them as far as like some of the dirt that falls from the ceiling down in this lower southwestern corner. You feel like that wall is not the most stable. There's a little bit of like dust that kind of filters down while you're in there. But Braca, you do notice there is a hole. It's not much of a hole. It's right around here. You can't see it, but everyone else, it's right around here. And it looks like it just, like you could drop down into it, squeezing, and then it goes off towards the east. It looks like it was dug. It's not a natural feature, but it was probably dug a while ago. You don't see the dirt from it as far as like being around the hole. This didn't happen recently.
So, you mentioned squeezing. Where's Decim?
Decim is scurrying in, his hands in his bag.
So, Decim, how about we trade for a little bit? Because I'm the one who's used to tinkering in the machines, and you're the one who knows about squeezing, and we've got something for you.
Decim's face lights up when you mention the word squeezing.
And you see Braca smile, just having brought that warmth to Decim's heart.
He assures you that he is the best at squeezing. No one can squeeze better than Decim. One day, you two will also learn the benefits of squeezing.
I was following you in here, and I saw you put your hands in your bag. I did the same thing, so I put my hands in your bag.
Yeah, there's all sorts of like vials and bottles and knickknacks. You may find like a half-eaten, possibly rotten sandwich.
I'm not looking for anything. This is very much so like I just put my hands in there because I saw you put your hands in there. So I'm just preparing myself for whatever you do because I'm still trying to figure out who's mimicking who now. So,
Fair enough.
yeah.
So yeah, Decim,
Decim nods.
Braca points out this hole. What do you want to do about it?
Oh, I mean, I am going to squeeze into that hole.
Okay.
I was built for this.
You literally were.
Yeah.
Do you want to follow it till its end?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So you
I've
drop
got to do
down.
the best squeeze I could possibly ever do.
Like, you look down in it, and you actually feel like it's a little tight to drop down on your feet, and then like have to like squeeze down to crawl forward. So you just like go head first, and it's not deep in the like it doesn't. You don't have to fall to get to the bottom, if that makes sense. And you follow
Yeah.
it, and it actually leads you out right there.
Take a look at this. Huh.
So
You get the feeling it's like a an escape tunnel if something were to be cornered in that room, but it's not. It wasn't built with this. It was dug out afterwards.
Desm nods with admiration and approval,
Yeah.
and then scurries back up
Okay.
behind the door.
So before you scurry back, Doran, you have your rat folk friend has scurried and squeezed through this hole. What do you want to do?
I am trying, but I am not succeeding.
Yeah.
In any way. I'm like, it's very much so like I don't understand that maybe my hands could push anything apart or maybe open the hole more. I'm just trying to put I'm bent over at like a 90-degree angle almost, and just trying to put my head
Right.
into the hole.
And
It's
the
not
armor
working.
the armor that your spirit is like encased in, is it leather or is it metal? What are you wearing?
It's leather.
Okay. So you do like you get down in there and it obviously is like a lot skinnier than you are, but you kind of like bring your arms in and you're just kind of like trying to get through it, and your armor at least like bends. It's not like rigid so that it can't. And you start moving very slowly through when Decim like reappears in front of you. Boop.
Beautiful. So I'm assuming I'm stuck now.
It is going to take you a little bit to like kind of push your way back. You're not like wedged in there, but it's not comfortable. Decim, he's not the best at squeezing.
Well, I mean,
But
the
I did
squeeze is
squeeze.
good. It's a skill that you learn over time. You know,
Truth.
like
Truth.
and I am deeply, deeply proud. In fact, Decim is going to tell everybody individually how proud he is of Doran because he's squeezing. You could learn a lot from Doran.
And you were so proud, Decim, you're going to get inspiration. And from his pride, Doran is going to get inspiration as well.
Yes.
Back up top, Borla's kind of watching all of you. Her face is very blank at this point. She doesn't seem to be dissatisfied with what's going on, but she's not like, yeah, go squeeze down that hole. What are Freed and Braca doing?
When I can't find anything, I'm gonna start heading north.
Okay. And Braca?
Well, first I'm going to explain to her that anytime squeezing is involved, Decim is a quite excellent scout, both in terms of being able to squeeze and letting us know if we will be able to squeeze as well. So that's why I thought we would just wait for Decim to get back.
Freed,
Everybody can squeeze.
Freed, you can hear this as he's like somewhat shouting it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like wave backwards, like, yeah, he'll be fine, and keep on like walking.
Borla just nods. She mutters, not really like under her breath, but she's not announcing it to everyone. Squeezing is a very good skill to have, especially in dungeoneering. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little harder for some of us than others.
She eyes you and she nods.
And I'm
Some of us were just built better for squeezing than others.
exactly that's why we sent Decim. And I'm looking at her and I'm just tried to get a broad sense of, are we both in team? Yeah, we're not going to squeeze well.
You get the feeling she's probably much better at it than you are. She's much shorter and compact. She's not big and burly like some dwarfs are. She's actually kind of slight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
And about this time, you hear this like scraping as Doran like backs his way out of the hole and then stands up, and his head is like at the level of the floor.
Hey, Doran. Freed wandered off instead of squeezing or waiting for you two to come back. So I think now at least some of us have to chase after him.
When I got those short legs, I can't go that far.
I know, we're going to catch up to you. But I don't know, you may have special powers now to be able to disappear.
That's the
We'll
next level.
walk out this way. And
I
keep
mean,
an eye
what?
on you.
Oh! All right, so yeah, I say that so at least someone knows where we're going, and then I start looking for you.
Okay. And you notice that Borla's come out this way, and she's watching where Freed goes. Doran and Decim, are you gonna climb out of the hole?
Well,
Struggling.
I will. I'm not going to help him because I want him to be able to do this
Right.
himself. Because that's the first step. But when he does emerge from the hole, I'm going to give him a half-eaten sandwich that does have a beautiful spread of mold, and as a trophy for his successful attempt.
Yeah. What kind of sandwich was it? Was it like a meat sandwich, or is it a like a?
It was a garbage sandwich. I mean, it was a sandwich that was from behind the cafe.
Oh, okay.
Where all
All right,
are.
yeah. So in that case, yeah, it's probably a meat and cheese sandwich. Doran, he hands it to you, and like the cheese was probably like a stinky cheese to begin with, but its odor is just like once he pulls it out of his bag, just like slams you in the face. It is ripe, and you're actually pretty sure it's moving.
Yeah. Oh. Like it's alive? Moving?
It might be. It might be.
I would like to check to see if it's alive.
So do you take it? Like you take it in your hands?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
as you like take it in your hands and look at it, yeah, it's definitely moldy. But then like a couple of like bugs, like little roaches, climb out and just like drop on the floor and scurry away.
I'm gonna go catch
I'll
those.
look. Yeah, I'll
Don't
look
let
at
the
Decima.
protein go.
I was gonna say, friends leaving. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like, that they were his friends, and it was my bad for letting them loose.
Braca, are you following Freed?
Yeah,
Okay, I'll just move you out that direction so I know.
yeah. Freed would have definitely gotten a head start, but I'm following.
I mean, I think I only made it to like the stairs at this
Yeah.
point.
As far as you want to, I guess I shouldn't say as far as you want to move, but like if you just keep walking, you'd probably be another 60 beyond that by this point. If you don't wait for them.
Like here.
Yeah. All right, so Doran and Decim managed to climb out. There's a sandwich interaction, bugs, protein escaping. Does everyone want to catch up with Freed?
Well, I mean, if that's where Decim and everyone else is going, sure.
I mean, I will at least try and catch one of those roaches because I mean, you can't let good food go to waste.
Yeah, they beelined for
but
that bed, like the pseudo bed, the pile of blankets and stuff. But you can pretty easily get in there and just like snatch them.
Oh yeah. And that cloth there, that blanket's probably going to be good for cave delving, so I'll grab that.
Sure.
Make a makeshift cave.
Finally, the
Hurry
cape
up there.
the cape in your art has a purpose. That is your new blanket.
A
All
dusty
right.
mustard yellow.
Mm.
And, scurry after Freed. and the rest of the party.
Okay. So everyone catches up with Freed when Freed is just essentially leaving this more obviously like constructed area. It looks like what you're moving into now also has that look of like this was all carved out a long time ago, but much of what was up. So Doran wasn't here for this, but the others of you had realized that this was probably an aqueduct of some kind, as far as like, rather than steps going down into what would be like a sunken sidewalk, these steps were probably for like boats, and so the area you're in was probably once underwater. It was probably like a some kind of water duct that went through the city. And up here where there would be sidewalk on either side is just smooshed. The cave-in is pretty much taking care of the buildings over there. And it just stretches on to the north.
Desmond will take points as he's got the best dark vision.
Okay. So Decim scurries up. How far ahead of everyone do you want to be?
I need to be outside the range of their lamps. Here.
Perfect. And Doran.
Yes.
So Decim scurries forward, obviously trying to get ahead of the group. What do you do?
I mean, are they trying to be stealthy at all? Or are they just like full bore running forward?
What are you doing, Decim?
Rolling a stealth.
Okay, so yeah, he sneaks forward. He sneaks forward pretty well. If you don't chase after him, like if you're not trying to follow him, then he disappears from your light and you don't hear him.
I would try and follow them and also be stealthy about it.
Okay, go ahead and roll a stealth.
Yeah. How do I got +4 on stealth as a Hall Legionnaire. So do I just roll a D20 and...
Yeah, we'll just roll that and we'll add 4 to it.
Okay.
9.
I'm very stealthy.
Yeah, so you're like moving up this way. I mean, you're like moving your torch around trying to find where Decim went. So you like make it up to there, and right at the edge of your vision you can see Decim like is moving. He at this point like everyone's still moving forward. Freed, Braca, what's your plan as far as moving forward? Do you want to let Decim scout ahead? Are you moving along behind him, or are you going to wait for him to be like, I'm on fire, there's lava?
I mean, if I hear that, Free's going to turn around. Keep walking at the same pace.
Okay.
Braca's going to try and stealth as well. And that's a 15 plus 5. That's 20.
Nice.
Woo.
Alright, so I've got everyone selected. I'm just going to move you together. Decim, when you get to here, you see that this cave, like this area is also part of the cave-in. It looks like water often collects here, and has like kind of eroded. So this aqueduct may not always be empty, but you can't see like a way to actually make an investigation check.
Totally make an investigation check.
Totally.
Investigating.
Yeah. You do see like there is ground under like the cave-in area that kind of is fractured enough that water would probably drain into it should this fill up. But it probably is not the best drain, and so it like collects here as the aqueduct fills up. This is probably where it's draining out of, and it's just the low point. So this is like the lowest area that the water would be at. Does that make sense?
Are there any signs? Yeah. Are there any signs that this collection of water is being used by creatures or people?
That is a really good question. With your 22, I will say you don't see any signs of that now.
All right, then I will continue scurrying forward
Okay.
to try and outpace this light
It's following you.
back.
All right, so you get up to here, and there's like this weird little bend. It's mostly created by your guess is that it's created by the cave-in, as opposed to why is there this weird jag in the street or in this aqueduct. The aqueduct stones, so like all of that stonework that's been, is just covered in silt. There's as though it had been carried in from somewhere else by the water.
I'm gonna press myself against the wall here
Okay.
and kind of inch my way around the bend to kind of get a view for what's in there without seeing as much as possible.
Sure. I need to zoom myself out so I can remember where you are. Okay. So I'm just going to snag everybody else here. You all get to this point, and Decim has disappeared around this corner. I'm assuming you're going to follow him, but I don't want to speak for you.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. So you manage to, you get around the corner, and Decim, because you were, sneaking around trying to edge, you're more like here when they come around the corner.
Right.
Mm.
So like their light kind of encompasses you a little bit. You can see that there is this part of a building right here that's been mostly crushed, and that silt is just like covering everything. And in fact, from their light reflection, even though it doesn't, like, the rest of you don't see this, but Decim, with your vision, you can see this is actually standing water.
Hmm. Is there any like stink from the water? Does it smell?
That is a good question. It does have a smell. It seems like a stagnant water, not like sewer water, but you get the feeling that this water sits like there is no drain for it, so it essentially has to evaporate.
Having lived in the desert and being an expert in, finding whatever water you can in the desert,
Right.
do I get a sense that this water would be actively harmful in some way to drink, to swim in, etc.?
No, in fact, most underground water, if the source of this is underground water, most of it's actually usually pretty safe, depending on what it's in. Like water filtered through like limestone and all that is actually pretty safe. But as far as that water just sitting there, that might not necessarily be so safe to drink.
Yeah, I'm figuring that being proficient in survival, Braca would know at least something.
Yeah. I mean, Braca doesn't want to drink that water, that's for sure.
I'll approach it cautiously.
Okay.
Like still water or sitting water in the swamp is always a bad thing.
Braca, I'm going to... You tell me which character you want to stay closest to, and I'll do that as far as your movement goes.
Whoever's going to move into the water first.
That
Yeah,
appears
it's
to
funny.
be Decim.
So, Decim.
So you head up with everyone. Doran, are you also moving forward with Decim?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm going to just move Decim up here real quick. Doran, put yourself where you would like to be. And Freed, you also move to where you think you'd be heading.
It's still the same walking speed.
Okay. And Borla just is kind of hanging out with Freed and keeping an eye on everybody. So Decim, as you reach the water, what's your plan there?
I'm gonna kick a stone into it.
Bloop.
Watch it for a second.
It disappears under the surface.
Anything happen? The water move at all?
Nope.
Can I bypass it without getting in the water?
Yeah, you feel like you could like kind of climb over these rocks here that were part of like these chiseled stones that were part of the building.
Yeah, I'll scurry over those.
Do make me a perception check. And
First thing.
am I correct? You get a advantage on this for smell.
No, not for spell. No. I should, but I don't.
Weird.
That's it.
I wonder why they
I
don't.
know, right?
Right.
So you squeeze, but no.
So you scurry over there. Where do you head? Go ahead and move your guy.
I'm gonna go to. How do I do it? Here.
Okay. So Doran, you notice that he like intentionally avoids stepping in the water and climbs up on the rocks and around the corner. Braca, you're moving forward and also notice that.
Uh-huh.
What do you two want to do?
For now, just try to be aware of surroundings and particularly aware of anything that Decim grabs and starts playing with.
Fair enough. And Doran?
I'm just following Decim still.
Okay. So do you climb up on the rocks?
As far as I'm concerned, the water's just water.
Yeah. Both Braca and Braca and Doran make perception checks.
13 total.
Okay. Is that your total, Doran?
For perception?
Yeah.
Yes, that's
Excellent.
my total.
Okay. So Doran gets here. Decim, you can continue moving in a bit if you want. And Braca moves up behind Doran. Freed, what are you doing?
Unless I see someone yell, "Oh my gosh, I'm on fire!" Keep on pushing on.
Okay. Boral moves with you. Freed, make me a perception check.
But Freed's not good at perceiving things.
No one is, apparently. Okay. I'm just going to snag you guys and move you past this so everyone gets by this. Bloop. Decim, up ahead, you notice as you were moving that there is. It looks like the structures that were on either side were crushed by the rock above as the ground just sank over the years, and much of this area is just fallen ruins, like wall pieces and statue pieces and such. The silt thins until right here that cobbled area picks up again, and you can see that it continues back to the north.
I will scurry to the north.
Okay. Scurry.
Should I roll a stealth?
If you would like to move stealthily, that would be great.
Would love that.
Sneaking.
Sneak.
All right. right, so Decim, I'm just gonna move you, or you can move yourself. Perfect. And Doran, you're coming up here. Wall. All right, sneaky Decim. One more perception check, or what's your passive?
Passive's 11.
11. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Sounds like something's not good enough.
Much better.
Oh wow!
You
That's amazing.
definitely hear something. You hear voices. They seem very distant, and it's like you hear a few words, and then you hear them again, almost like they're echoing. It's really hard to tell where they're coming from. Obviously, not from behind you, but it seems like the way that the structure is around you, that the voices are echoing off of different areas and coming back to you.
Can I determine how many voices there are?
Yeah, with your perception, it seems like there is one person doing most of the talking, and every so often you hear maybe a response from somebody, a couple of people. It's hard to tell with those other voices because they're not talking so much.
So like more than 2,
Yeah.
but maybe less than 10.
Yeah.
Desm is gonna point at his ear, and then hold up his paws, and he'll put out one finger, and then he'll put out both his paws, extend his fingers all out in their entirety, and then shake them with emphasis.
What's everyone do with that information?
Has Decim ever done this before?
I don't think so, actually.
Then yeah, I assume this is just another Decim thing.
In the front of the pack, like I'm the second in the lead, or
As for you and Brock are kind of like next to each other as you're moving along.
So I'll like turn to Braca and then look behind me and do the same thing, but
Okay.
mirrored.
So Freed and Borla see this, and Borla just kind of like tilts her head and is staring at Doran.
I'll just put a thumbs up.
Excellent. All right, what do y'all want to do?
Desmond's going to come in towards Braca, and in a really quiet voice say that there are possibly customers somewhere nearby. One of them seems to perhaps be the person with the coins. You get him a good deal.
Okay. And Braca was taking that all in, but suddenly looked confused, like a very obvious confused look on his face
Okay.
when you mentioned person with the coins.
And Freed and Doran. Oh,
Yeah, I was gonna say, do I know what the coin or coins are? This isn't ringing any bells for me.
No, I don't think it would ring any bells for Doran whatsoever.
Okay, well, now I guess I'm gonna rifle through my pockets for coins. See if I have any coins. Like, why did we come all the way down here for coins if I have some coins? I think I have a few dollary dues on me.
Yeah.
Somewhere. Oh, my character sheet says I have 0, so maybe I don't. So I guess I produced some rocks and lint.
Oh no, your account is hollow too.
Yeah. I guess that's why I took up the work in the first place.
Hollow Legionnaires, hollow bankers, hollow. And what's Freed doing?
Freed always takes Decim seriously, unless he has no clue what Decim is talking about, and then he just says, "Mm-hmm." So I think this is one of those "mm-hmm" times.
I was gonna say, and so which one is this?
I don't know what was happening. I don't know about these coins. So I'm just gonna say, "Mm-hmm," and I'll wait to see if Decim is gonna like run out front again, because I know with my lantern that would kind of like fuck up what he's doing.
Okay. So Decim, that leaves you in charge. What are you doing?
That's a very terrible start of words there. Decim's gonna hold up his paws, like in Jurassic Park, the guy and the three little raptors.
Oh,
To
right.
the group. And then he's gonna point at himself, and he's gonna then scurry off to the north.
Okay. So go ahead and put yourself where you're going to scurry to. Okay, perfect. Make me a perception check.
Perceiving.
Excellent. So you get to there. Now that the light's not like around you, it's much easier for your dark vision to like really kick in, and you do notice like this area seemed to be like off to the left. You can see these pillars that have fallen. The ceiling probably like had enough pressure to just shatter them, and so they've like fallen in disarray. Looks like there were other buildings to your right. It looks like the street would have continued on, but a lot of those buildings have been crushed. Not in a way that you can really get into, although it looks like, so you can see to the northeast there's a passage. You're not really sure. Let's see how far that is from you. There we go. You have 60 feet, right, of dark vision?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can see this intersection up here. And you can kind of make out, even though you can't like see color and all of that, you can see that this area seems more like that silt covered area as opposed to this cobblestone. Off to the right, you see more cobblestone that leads off out of your dark vision.
Are the voices getting louder in this direction?
They seem about the same.
And I'll pop back over and then gesture for people to come up.
Okay. Excuse me. What do you all do?
I'm just going to point to his
I'm
ears.
still following. I mean, I haven't noticed anything bad yet, so I guess I'm moving up as much as I can.
Okay.
So that would be right around the corner.
Yeah. And I'll move Braca up with you. And Boral will move up. And yeah, that's about right. Cool. So from there, what does everyone want to do?
Letting Decim take the lead.
Yep.
What could go wrong, right?
Have they not noticed that there's sounds yet? Have they heard the voices?
Not with a 7, I don't think I would have.
What's everyone's
Decim's
passive?
11.
Braca? Actually, I got
Well, mine's 10. While they're looking.
excellent. Yeah, thanks. That was my next question. Perception, Braca's would be a 12, I think. Yeah. Braca, you can kind of make out what sounds like voices. The other, Doran and Freed, like you hear noises, but it's harder. You're not really catching that they're voices. And it's definitely in a weird language. So Decim, it's you're like really able to make out like words, but they don't really make sense to you.
Word sounds, yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna like over exaggeratingly like crouch as if he's stealthing. But looks back at the group. He's trying not to say a whole lot of like words because he doesn't want to make any noise. And then he's gonna scurry forward.
I didn't comprehend what you did, so I am just upright walking.
Sure.
The sign language is lost upon me.
All right, so Decim, as you get there, make me one more perception check.
Perceiving.
Fantastic.
Wow. Okay.
What could go wrong, right? Well, let's find out. As I get this ready. Doran, go ahead and make a perception check as well. Your passive definitely won't cut it. But let's see.
7.
What is it with you and sevens?
No.
Excellent. So, Decim, as you move that direction, multitasking, from behind these fallen pillars rises up
An
this
ancient red dragon.
an ancient red dragon, but it's been miniaturized. This small creature, it rather I should say it's a medium creature. How to describe this? It looks like it has a humanoid body, but its flesh is very veiny and risen, like you would see on a burn victim. Like that kind of like burn scarring covers a lot of its body, and it has this huge mouth just full of teeth, and the mouth is like when it opens its mouth and hisses at you, it almost looks like, you know, how lampreys' mouths are.
Yeah.
Kind of like that, but it then closes. It's obviously on a hinged jaw, but it can get its mouth open very wide. It says something to you. What languages do you speak?
I speak
Them.
Abyssal.
Okay.
Slytherin, Titan Speech, and Lydian.
Okay. What does Braca speak? Do you remember?
Braca speaks Shelzari, Sutak, Orcish.
Okay. And Freed?
Lydian and Eshik.
All
and
right.
I guess Gnomish.
Well, that is not what this is speaking, so you're really not sure what it said.
Does it appear to be aggressive and hostile?
Do an insight check.
Inciting.
So it's
11.
it hisses at you and says something. The way it holds itself is you would kind of assume it was aggressive anyway. Like you've other Slytherin from your brood would look like this just before they would try to attack you. Yeah.
Huh. Going to go full possum, and my jaw opens up and just kind of freezes up a little bit.
Okay. So is that like aggressive possum or like fall over, play dead possum?
It's kind of like play dead possum, but he's not like falling over playing dead. They just, they open their mouth and they're just like,
Gotcha.
kind of like that.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing?
Often until Decim acts. I assume that I'm able to pick up that it's just from my time around and getting from the Iron Spire to here, that just the mannerisms in general are not wanting me to give it a hug, to say the very least.
Yeah, and from where you're at, like your light is just kind of like flickering on the edge of it. It looks pretty terrifying as far as its features, and so you definitely don't feel like it's being friendly now.
So yeah, I'm just gonna like wait. I'm not gonna move forward anymore.
Okay.
Just because I don't want to piss it off, and hopefully, if I have to, I can move forward and get close to it. But yeah, my main goal right now is to just wait and see what happens.
Okay. Braca?
Brock's going to call out. Do you speak Shelzari? In Shelzari, then. Sutak? Orcish? Just going through the languages.
Right. Decim, you're closer, and like it glances at Braca when Braca's speaking, but you don't notice any like recognition in its face, and it doesn't respond to you, Braca.
Okay, I pull out the mop.
Okay. Freed, what are you doing?
Well, I can't see what's happening. I just hear fun happening to my left, so we're gonna go left.
Okay. Yeah, and you can see this weird creature standing up. It looks like it's looking at like between you and Doran and Decim, so like its eyes go back and forth. It looks kind of like it's waiting for something, but it also is leaning forward and like has kind of an aggressive stance.
How much can I discern like aggression versus fear in this thing?
Sure, do an insight.
Freed, I know you don't know people who are not made of ice, but let's give it a shot. Where are you? There you are.
It might be scared aggression, or it might be aggressively frightening.
Okay, that's too much thinking. I'm pulling out the dagger.
Okay. Are you gonna wing it at it, or are you just like taking it out for preparation?
I moved on my speed this round.
Okay, so you had to like dash to get up there.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna like next round. I'm just gonna like walk up with the dagger and stab if I need to stab.
Okay. Well, then let's roll initiative.
Cool. With that, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be right
Sure.
back.
Sounds good.
I think your turn's still going to be before mine. That's a 5. for Brock. 5 total.
Gee, not bad. Better than last round's 3.
All right. So, Freed pulls out his dagger and looks like he's about to start walking that way. The creature says something again. It sounds different than what it said before, and it like puts its claws up on the the fallen pillar there and pulls itself up and begins moving over here and jumps down next to Decim. And when he jumps down, it's not in like just kind of a, calmly climbing down. He like launches himself off and his claws come down towards Decim.
Ah,
I was gonna be nice, and that's gone now.
Does a 12 hit you?
indeed it does.
Oh my goodness.
I have an AC of 11.
Good to know.
Or I think.
You're going
Hold
to
on,
take
let me look at that.
4. Yeah, double check.
Yep, 11. Yep.
Okay. So that's 4 slashing.
Uh-oh.
And as it's like drags its claws down you, then it leans forward and that big mouth just like hinges open and chomps towards you. But a 10 misses you.
Ah.
So you just kind of stumble away slightly as it snaps right in front of you. Freed.
So I was gonna try and talk to it, but that's gone now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's cast Toll the Dead on this thing.
Okay. That is a con check? Or con save?
Pretty sure it's a wisdom save. Let me do the double checking.
Sure.
Toll of... Yeah, wisdom save.
All right. I'm assuming an 11 fails.
It does. So it will
Roll your
take
damage.
7 necrotic.
Excellent.
And I'll finish my movement and just walk up here.
Do some record keeping here so I know what I'm doing. Excellent. Okay, so that was freed. Decim.
Decim is
Oh,
super
actually,
shocked.
Decim, since it's your turn,
Yes.
I need you to make a con saving throw.
Oh. Poison?
Yes.
Advantage.
Good then.
Yeah, oh my god, thank god.
Excellent. This thing like is just exuding the stench. It's almost visible now that it's like standing in front of you. Your nose kind of like tweaks at the smell, but you manage to shake it off. And then what do you do?
This is not a good place to be. And he is super concerned about Freed. But if anything he's learned in the swamps is if you can split up, somebody will survive. So you can disengage and go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30, and go there.
Okay.
Press up against that wall.
So the little bit of light that shines in there reflects off to these stones. You don't really see anything hiding in there. And that will be your turn. So Braca, I know you can't see what's going on. So about 60 feet away from you is this creature. Freed is engaged with it. Decim ran away and disappeared. Doran is in between, about halfway, and Borla is next to you and looks like she is getting ready to run that direction. What do you do?
And they're gone.
He's like, I'm out.
Right?
And they're back. They're back now.
Baraka, can you hear me?
Oh, all right. I can hear you now.
Okay.
main internet connection went out, so I had the personal hotspot already set up and waiting. When the internet connection goes out when it's actually going out, it doesn't immediately go out, so I have to just unplug it. Anyway, here.
Obrigado, Mr. Roboto.
Right? Yeah, and your audio sounds like you're being channeled through like a soundboard. It's amazing. So you are about 60 feet from this thing that attacked Decim. Decim has run off. Freed is engaged with it. Doran is about halfway between, and Borla is standing next to you. Looks like she's about ready to head off that direction. What do you do?
Dash up to engage and end turn.
Okay. That brings us to Borla. Borla is going to also dash up. And she is going to wing her dagger. Pew. And will hit. And you are engaged, so we've got to do 4. So this dagger lodges like in the thing's neck. More of that like stench kind of wafts out. And Doran, it is your turn.
Well, I assume I can't see Decim.
I don't believe you can.
Yeah, no dark vision.
Yeah.
They scooted away. And no one in my immediate vicinity has engaged with this thing yet, right? So no one's hurt.
No one is hurt, but both Freed and Braca are engaged with it.
Okay. So what I'm going to go ahead and do then is cast on it sleep.
Okay. So go ahead and roll your... Is it 8d6? Or no? Do 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 do. $5d8. Roll your
Yeah,
5d8.
I was looking everywhere for it, but I could
Right?
just see the one. There we are. 21.
Nice. Yeah, it falls. It like blinks its eyes and then falls over.
And then I guess I'm going to walk up next to everybody as best as I can. Yep, I totally can. And then just be like, is that what? I just point at it.
Why isn't there a sleepy icon? There needs to be a sleepy icon. We will do. No, that's
Give it the
blind.
shades. Give it the sunglasses.
Sure. It is now asleep. And of course, his icon is under Braca's token. That's amazing. Okay, so Braca moves up, or sorry, Doran moves up after putting it to sleep. Is that you the rest of your turn?
Yep. Yeah, I just ask what that is and then end my turn.
Okay.
I wasn't really looking for Decim, even though technically he's under my light right now, but I wasn't looking for them actively, so I'll say I didn't see them.
So Freed, it's your turn, but you need to make a con saving throw.
Save.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah, it's stinky. You don't care.
He's been around Decim for too long.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you...
I didn't see where this thing came from. It's asleep, so Freed has lost interest, like the child he is, and he's just going to walk forward
Okay.
to kind of see what this thing is guarding.
So, like, right in front of you are those two pillar fragments. You kind of climb over it and look down in there and climb. Looks like an open area covered with silt. There is the remnants of a building down here to the south. You can see that it is Just it's elevated a little bit so that the silt hasn't filled it. But you don't see anything that it was guarding.
Then I'm going to turn around, dagger out, like very pissed that it's wasting my time. But that's also the end of my turn.
Okay. Decim.
Desmond is going to do like an army barrel roll from behind that fence.
Yeah.
Or that wall. With a vial in his hand, he rips the cork out with his teeth. It kind of flares up and starts to spit out fire. And he looks for his target, who is now on the ground. And he'll toss it off to the side. There's a little explosion. Cast a firebolt off to the wall somewhere.
Gotcha.
And
Take that.
take that. He'll peer from around the corner of the wall to see what's going on in his turn.
Okay. So do you want to move forward? So I know
No, I'm gonna stay right there.
Gotcha. So you move back
That's
around the wall. Okay. Braca, go ahead and make me that con save.
Whoa, that's a 19 on the die.
Nice.
So
Everyone's just so
20,
used to
21.
what Decim smells like. It does. These guys are nothing.
Hey.
I'm not. I'm not getting any of your audio. Sorry. It's just like robot speech. Do you want to type into Discord what you're saying, and I can check over there?
Just a mechanical god in the Skylands we just don't know about. That's
Right. Actually, Braca rips his flesh off, and there's like a metal pony underneath.
all. I was gonna say Terminator, but go on.
Does not compute.
Dun 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 dun. This little thing's fucked.
Right? Actually, what you didn't know is Braca's here to kill you all for Skynet.
So good.
Do. While I am waiting for Braca, Borla is going to move up next to you all and kind of looks at it. Oh my gosh. Come on, Discord. It could be that his internet problems are spreading to me because this is taking forever.
In the chat for you?
So I'm loading up Discord on my other computer so I don't
I see.
screen capture.
I can just tell you what it says. Braco prepares to smash it when someone else does.
Perfect.
That's what
Thanks.
That's what he put.
Excellent.
No
All right, so Borla moves up there, and she like looks at it and spits. Like, Charfiend, what's that thing doing down here? And that makes it Doran's turn.
Is the thing in front of me still asleep?
It is.
And I don't fully know. Sleep is not one of the spells that I have much time with, but if we hit it, it wakes up.
Correct. If it takes damage, it wakes up. If somebody uses an action to wake it up, or after a minute.
So it doesn't make any rolls after I put it to sleep. It's just
Nope.
asleep.
Yep, it's just
All right,
asleep for a minute.
Good night then.
And good night.
Yeah. I guess I'm just holding an action then. I'll prepare. It's small, right? It's like an itty bitty little thing.
It's medium sized, but it's definitely smaller than like you or Braca.
And it's like feral. It's not like wearing clothes or anything, I guess. It's like
No,
feral kind
no, it's definitely like a fleshy, skinny, burnt-looking creature.
So I would assume that there's more than one, but what does my character know? I guess is the real question. Not shit about
Yeah,
that.
I
So I'm
mean-
holding an action in case it wakes up.
That's a thing, right?
I thought maybe there would be more, but with a 1, I think this might be the only one in existence. We should
Right.
study it.
You do hear from the right a keening sound that then like lowers down into a guttural growl. As one runs from the darkness.
Perfect.
Uh-oh.
Up to Borla. That guy's asleep. Freed.
Because I turned around and was pissed, I did see. Nope, I can't see Borla. I'm just gonna walk back to it then.
Okay. You can see Borla because Doran's torch lights up that area that's in.
Okay, so I can see that one.
Yeah, so everything, unless it's blocked by a wall or a structure, like you can't see all of Borla. You can see her, like her head and shoulders.
Gotcha.
But like
then,
everything in his aura, you can also see.
okay. Then, in order to protect Borla, I'm gonna cast Cold Snap on this thing.
Okay. Con save?
Con save, y'all. Yeah.
Let me make sure he doesn't have a minus. Does that 16 make it?
Yes.
Okay. Is it an all or nothing thing?
Cantrip.
Okay. All right. Do you stay where you are?
I'll walk up behind this one.
Okay. Decim, you've heard this this screeching noise.
Oh no.
What do you do?
So I'm gonna pop out over here. Can I see this one here?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to move. This pillar is still up. So if you're behind it, it gives you cover, but unfortunately everything that it blocks you from has cover from you.
What if I'm here?
You can absolutely see it from there, yeah.
All right. I'm gonna pull out another one of those vials, pluck the cork out from it, and yell out, "Bards, begin the music! It's time to be righteous!" And I'll throw the vial at that creature there.
Okay. Do you have to roll to hit it?
Yeah. Hold
Okay.
on.
I didn't know if it was a dex save or not.
So when
No,
you
it's
said
just, it's firebolt.
for when you did you say in character for the bard to start playing something righteous?
Yes.
Okay, so I am now panicking to find my lyre that
Okay.
I assumed that was a command, like we need music, and I don't know what these creatures are in any
Right.
capacity. So
Yeah.
It's not. Is it sending the?
It is. So alchemy goes boom, smashes against the creature's body. I'm assuming so. Like it hits it and fire erupts off of it.
It's just firebolt.
Okay.
So it should just be a D10 points of damage.
Yeah. So it smashes against it, and the fire licks its flesh, but doesn't appear to affect it. But it does like glance over at you, like it, just to see what threw that.
And then Desmond will move here.
Just slinks off that way. So Borla,
Yep.
who was turned the other way, turns around and curses in Dwarven. And she's going to take a swipe and will hit once. Doing damage. Okay. Doran, you have been called to perform.
So I am doing my best to play a song now. I don't really know any songs. It's more of like having the lyre and just the musical like notes that I can make with it occasionally
Yeah,
are soothing versus learning how to use it in any real way.
fair enough.
And it's one of those like things that I'm like, I'm pretty sure I did this in a past life, but I can't remember, and this is why it's kind of important to me. Like I have this like attachment to it that I can't explain.
Yeah,
So I'm not in any way playing a song that really makes sense. It's like all over the place, and like 1 second I'm humming, and the next second I like point, and then that's it. That's all I do on my turn. I
okay.
don't do anything else.
For those of you listening, it's almost like he's playing Stairway to Heaven and like Stinkfist by Tool at the same time. It's very jarring, but has no actual effect. The Charfiend is not happy with Borla for stabbing it. And bites her, but misses with its claws. Oh, Borla needed to make a save. Jeez, Borla. Doors have advantage, right? On poison?
Yes. Yes.
Did not matter. She might not have actually stabbed it, but I won't worry about it. So she seems to kind of be swaying a little bit, and like she kind of burps, and a little bit of vomit kind of comes out of her mouth as she sways. It stabs her, or it bites her back for 3, and that makes it end of the turn. Okay. That keening noise is returned, like you hear another one that seems echoey, but not an echo of the previous one. The guy on the ground between Freed and Braca snores. Freed, go ahead and make a con save. Actually, no, you were immune because you made it for the next hour.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Let's try a wisdom save on this one. So let's do another Toll of the Dead.
Okay, are you doing it on the one that's asleep or the one that's attacking Borla?
Attacking Borlo.
Wisdom save. What is your DC?
13.
It does not appear to be. It makes it.
But it does that.
Is it a. This is a cantrip, right? So all or nothing?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So yeah, nothing happens.
Interesting. I'm gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
And that's all I got.
Decim.
Decim is gonna totally repeat his previous action. Pop out over here and hurl a thing at it.
Okay.
$17 hit.
Base explosion totally hits. Is that for one fire?
Be one fire.
Okay. It also fire licks its flesh, but does not appear to do anything.
Interesting. And I'll go back over here behind that pillar.
Okay. So Braca, you have a sleeping one next to you and an awake one 10 feet from you.
First, I think I have punched my internet connection. Can you hear me?
I can.
Excellent.
Yay.
So now I would like to go deal with the one who is awake,
Okay.
if I can get there.
Sure.
Cool. So I'm gonna try walk up and smack it upside the head. That's a crit.
Nice. Roll that damage.
So that is 8, 10, 13 points of damage.
13. Okay. Do you want to use your amazing kick as well?
Yes, I'm going to try and kick it. I might have to kick a little higher.
Yeah.
And because I'm kicking a little higher, I don't think it's quite on the ground. No, I'm still splashing in the water. I assume an 8 misses.
An 8 will miss. Okay.
Yeah.
You'll get this. It'll come to you one of these days. Is that everything?
Yeah. Movement, action, bonus action, pose for dramatic effect. Done.
Excellent. Borla. Let's see. So she is poisoned until the start of the creature's next turn. Okay. Which sucks. So she like goes to hit it, and Freed, you're really sure like she's just gonna stab it right between the eyes, and then she like erps some more, and her swing just goes wide, almost into Braca. Like she spins around and almost hits him, but doesn't.
I want to look at her in judgment and go,
Right, Doran.
I guess everybody seems to not have told me to stop playing. So I'm going to continue playing, and that's my turn.
Okay. All right. We'll see how it feels about all of you randomly. So Braca, it did not like you punching it with or hitting it with the broom. It felt demeaned. It felt demeaned by you doing that. So it's going to try and get you. But you are just so spry, I'm assuming it's going to miss you. The high is a 12.
Yeah, that's going to miss. As I'm able to just dodge out of the way. It's like I saw that it was going to try and seek revenge.
Yeah, so it goes to bite you, and you just, I mean, really easily dodge out of the way. And then its claw comes up, and it's like this thing is playing with you. You're not even sure what it's there for. Why is it doing this? It's ridiculous. Oh, my dice. And then out of the darkness, another one runs up to Braca. That one's asleep. Freed.
this has turned into a thing.
It has.
I'm going to see if I can stab this booming blade, this one in front of me.
Okay.
Maybe.
I'm helping a lot. I don't know why this is becoming worse.
Oh, yeah.
So 3 piercing, and then if it moves, takes additional thunder damage.
Gotcha. That's right. Excellent. That all your stuff?
Yeah.
Decim.
Desm will yell out, "Fear not, peasants. Property damage is damage to evil. Corian be praised." And will 5, 10, 15 run out this way and bite this guy.
Okay. Going hardcore.
Print.
I haven't seen it showing up.
Try again. It's running a little slow
All
right
through at
now.
once. You'll
Yeah,
get a gate roll.
Right. We definitely, on Mondays, we'll get this, like, time, like, for a part of the show, it'll be all like, oh, just kidding, we're updating something. Okay, there we go. 16 for 3 piercing. That will hit. Anything else?
I will chomp him and then yell out Corian.
Okay. Baraka. So now there are 2 next to you. One ran out of the darkness and has only just been bitten by Decim, and then the other one has taken a fairly sound beating between you and Borla and Freed.
Well, I tried to do another sound beating and kick, and Brocker really kind of cleans the water a little more with 2 on the die roll for the mop.
Okay.
But he kicks very effectively. 23 to hit
Yeah.
for 5 points of kick to the torso.
Yeah. So what I'm imagining is like you go to hit him with it, but like your instincts take over and you actually like lower the mop handle to the floor. And then you're like, no, that's not what I'm supposed to do. And so you pick yourself up and just like smash your feet into it. And you.
There we go.
And how much damage did you do?
5.
5. It sways on its feet, stumbling, but is still up. And Borla is going to try and fix that. And she stabs it like up through the under the jaw into its brain. It shudders on the end of her dagger, and she like pulls the dagger out and a bunch of goop falls out and it collapses to the ground. Bloop. Remove. Doran.
Well, you know what I'm gonna say. So I've been playing this song now for a little bit. I mean, it's rounds, but it feels like a little bit. So I'm gonna say that it was a quick song and I wrapped it up, but no one complained. So now I'm starting a new one.
Right.
No one else. They don't seem to need my help. I'm probably inspiring them.
Right.
With that.
I mean, they just
So
killed that one. Absolutely.
Yeah. I feel like I'm being a huge contributing factor to this, so I'm going to start up a new tune.
Okay. What does this one sound like? Is it
any of the
more
music that I would name? No one's gonna know.
is it more harmonious, or is it still pretty off?
I would say that we're leaning into like more traditional like stuff that it's almost like it's a haze of what I've heard in the streets of Shelzar, but mixed with like old school classical music.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm like, but I'm not technical enough to hit the old school classical, so it's like every other note.
All right, so Decim, does a 15 hit you?
Most definitely.
Okay. So it lunges forward, and as it's lunging at Braca, and it like swipes its arm out, and its claws rake Decim for 4.
Whoa.
And Braca, it just nails you. Like, as you're like swinging down from kicking the other one, you land, and then this thing is just on you, and its jaws just bite into you and take a huge chunk out. You're gonna take 8 piercing.
It's a flesh wound.
It's a flesh wound.
It's a lot of flesh, but it's a flesh wound.
So, Freed, you see this happen. What do you do?
Let's cold snap again. They're moving too fast. I don't like that.
Right.
Let's cold snap.
Con save?
Con save.
Okay.
Yeah.
This one is not nearly as... It's either not paying attention or it's not as hardy as the other one. It fails miserably.
So it takes 2 cold damage,
Whoo!
but it has disadvantage on all attacks until next round.
The start of your next turn?
I should read the wording to be exactly sure. Yeah, I'll let you know
Cool.
when I find the thing.
Decim, that makes it your turn.
Let's see here. Desm bellows out, villagers, the strongest prayer is made through coin. Corian be praised, and he's going to bite that creature again.
Okay.
Let's see here for a bite.
And as you chomp down, you're surprised. There's nothing in your mouth as you like close it and you like open your eyes from your, you were like, so you clench your eyes shut thinking that you were going to do it. And then as you open it, it's just standing in front of you and you missed it completely.
Well,
Braca. Oh,
It's the end of their next turn.
okay, cool.
who's the one who hit me? Is the one who's almost dead, who I've been beating on?
Yeah, there's only one that's upright. It is not looking all that great. And then there's a sleeping one.
So, I would like to hit it with my broom, and that is 12 to hit.
A 12 will just miss it.
Okay, so I would like to very hostilely bleed on it. That's another 12 to hit.
Okay. So as you squirt blood towards it very hostilely, you slip a little bit and your foot just like goes wide just a smidge so that it doesn't connect. Anything else?
Yeah, it would be clear to anyone watching that the profuse amount of blood is affecting Braca's accuracy a little bit. And turn.
Okay. So Borla like jumps up in the air and looks like she's gonna try and jam this thing down through its like her dagger down through its skull. Will hit. I'm just gonna roll damage over here because it's faster. For 12, which takes that one out. So it shudders as the knife goes into its brain, collapses to the ground. As everyone's listening, they don't hear any more of these like shrieking calls or responses. You just kind of hear like some snoring, some really infernal, wretched snoring from the one that's asleep. And that is where we will end for this week.
Oh, I was gonna stab him.
What you do notice, so I don't forget, each of them does have what looks like almost like a ruby embedded in their chests. It's grown over mostly with skin, and as they die, you notice, and wasn't like glowing so brilliantly that it was obvious, but as they die, this faint glow goes out of it. And especially this one because it like everyone's looking at it as it dies. You notice this like little wisp of red goes into the air and disappears. And that's where we'll end for this week. I just didn't want to forget. So, any questions, concerns, complaints? I'll field complaints today.
I think we can all complain about my internet connection, but that's not any of our fault.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I guess it doesn't need to be complaints about the game or even the sessions. So if you have anything you need to vent about, that now would be the time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that might be a whole other session.
Right? Maybe we should set that up for a completely different stream. So we'll do our outros. Freed, why don't you tell us all about yourself?
Hi, so I'm Chaz, and I study video games and music and storytelling, and I play Freed. the Eshik, just the Eshik. That's what he does.
Yeah.
He does Eshik stuff. And I play on this game. I also play on a game on Travis' Channel. What is it? Plastic Age Plays.
Yeah, Plastic Age Plays here on Twitch.
On Monday with Jeremy and Tric. And I also DM a game with Jeremy and John on this channel on Wednesdays at
3:30 Eastern. Yeah.
That's the one. So yeah.
And what is that game?
It is a Final Fantasy XIV inspired actual play where last time they learned that seeing the future isn't as accurate as it always should be.
I like it. Nice. All right, Braca, tell us all about yourself.
All right, I'm Noah. I play Braca Blue when I have the internet connection.
Yay.
And along with that, I was most recently the editor for the latest volume of Eat the Rich, which came out on Drive-Thru RPG yesterday.
Congratulations.
For adventures about the environment and some things that some not so friendly, not so conscientious people might do to disrupt the environment. So you as the adventurers may have something to say about that.
Fair enough. And where can people find you on this here internet?
You can find me at Noah Grand on Twitter.
Perfect. Decim.
My name is John, and I play Desmond.
Hi, John.
And hello. I'm a whiskey distiller in Ireland, and am a term nerd. And you can find me on the internet at Distillosaurus Rex. That's my Instagram handle, where I document Irish whiskey.
Yeah, go watch his adventures in Ireland. I'm always so jealous. As far as I know, Ireland is not currently on fire, correct?
It is not on fire, but
Hooray!
we have had a uptick of COVID cases. So
oh no! Oh no!
Yeah. Been letting the tourists in. It's not a good idea.
Darn tourists.
Yeah.
And last but not least, Doran, tell us all about yourself.
I'm Tric, or the hair trick on everything, because puns are fantastic, and so is Cosmic Core.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, you can call me Tric. I've been a level designer for like 15 plus years. Outsourced by Relic, THQ before the bankruptcy, and then Sega after the bankruptcy. I've been part of a few huge mod projects. I'm always interested in level design and talking about level design. The game is just a backdrop because I'm a variety streamer on Twitch. But the big exciting thing that I just did was finally got a Patreon off the ground for D&D writing and supplements and artwork. And if we hit our goal, music. So we have 3 whole Patreons. Wow.
Yay!
But if you're interested
it's a start.
in it, yeah, it's awesome. It's 3 more than I thought I would have. So, if you're interested in that, even remotely, just to look at it and tell me it sucks, I would love any sort of feedback in that. I guess I will link it in the chat here in a moment.
But, actually, I don't think I've set you up to do that yet. I will do so.
Okay.
But I will put it in the show notes on YouTube, so go check that out. Support if you can, if you want to, because who doesn't
even
need
$1
more,
helps.
Yeah, and who doesn't need more gaming stuff? Pfft.
Yeah, the tokens are $2 a pop. It's pay as you go, so it'll ask you for a limit. I highly recommend, if you just want to support stuff, just put it at $1 on the Discord entry fee. Yeah, because the $1 one's going to get you access to like reviews for each month of all the stuff that we did anyways in video format. So it's going to like show you all the art. You're not going to be able to use it or download it or anything like that, but it's a super easy way to support because Patreon doesn't take a huge chunk, and you're still involved in the process via polls and feedback and all that other wonderful stuff. So that goes for any Patreon. If anybody has anything like that and you're like, oh man, I love all this other stuff, but I can't afford it, just hit the lowest tier. It all adds up.
Nice. Go ahead and try throwing your I don't know if I have a links turned off or not. I can't remember. So yay, there it is. Woohoo!
Cool.
Awesome. All right, and I am Jeremy Hochhalter. I run this here Twitch channel. You can find me, like Chaz said, over on Plastic Age Plays on Monday, here on Fridays for both this show, and then earlier in the day at 2 p.m. Eastern is the Lore You Know, where we talk about D&D and RPG lore. We've been covering the Scarlands really since it started. So if you like what we're doing here, this is the world we're playing in, is Scarlands, and so come check that out. And then on Wednesdays, Chaz's game. I also publish on DM's Guild and Drive Through RPG. Next week is a project that's coming out that some of us have been involved with, and looking forward to it, being able to announce that. So next week we'll have all sorts of fun news. Otherwise, everyone stay safe, be good to yourself, be good to each other, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.